once again to Marilyn. She's back. I mean, how I survived 25 and a half hours, 36 minutes and 2 seconds. I don't know. But she made her entrance back into the United Kingdom. I've got to state this, coming back by posh BA, where you don't have, fortunately, lots of steps. There was a tiny 3-inch step, and there she was on the floor, knocked out, and they had to rescue her. Well, you should have worn your parachute.
I just thought I'd make an entrance. Hello, I'm back. Did you miss me? It was really. I said to my kids, I fell out the aeroplane. What? It was a spectacular entrance, but my golly, did it hurt. I mean, I just, I mean, I really, I am. I've got so many bruises. I look like a Dalmatian. I really do. My hand is like this. Yesterday was
Oh my
absolutely
goodness me!
black. Look at it swollen. But
Good,
it
good,
was.
good job you fell on your head. I mean, there's yes.
But I've got bruises everywhere. I look like I've been pebble dashed. You know,
Yes.
but it's far more painful today than it was yesterday. But I just feel, yeah, I just the doctors were saying, I don't even know that I really fell on my head badly. I mean, obviously I got a head made of iron because I haven't got any bruises.
Well,
But I think the
yes.
actual shock of falling is what I'm feeling a little bit like, not
When you
spaced
get
out.
over 80, you feel the difference.
Oh, yeah, yeah. How much marmalade did you want me to bring over next time?
Yes, she's
Careful as you go, man.
cook me some marmalade. Oh, I don't know. Do you cook? Well, you boil it. Anyway, very nice. Where did you get your oranges from? Spain?
Spain.
That's all right then.
They have to be Spain. They
Yes.
have to be Spain. You can't not. You have to have Seville oranges.
Yes, they're nice and bitter. You don't eat them unless you put it in jam. And
Mm.
that tang
Yes,
that
that's
it gives
right.
you is
That's
great
right.
for jam.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you've got to fill it full of sugar. How much sugar do you put in a
I'm
pot?
not telling you.
Yeah,
You'll never eat it again.
we're going to talk about sugar a bit. But before we get to sugar, I'll tell you what we're going to talk. We're going to be different this morning. We're going to talk about, first of all, Japanese knotweed. Now, you've probably
Oh,
heard
that's
of that,
lethal.
but it is, once it gets in your garden,
Oh, it's
it
awful.
affects the price of your house.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
But
does.
I'll tell you what, we found something even worse, and it's bamboo.
Oh, that as
Yes.
well.
And you can blame the horticulturals of Britain because there's various fairs in the springtime where they start saying, oh, well, this year's plant is whatever. And about 8, 9 years ago, it was grow bamboo.
Mm.
Now, it grows like billio.
You cannot stop it. It's like
Oh,
it's awful stuff. I rented a house a few years ago, and it was at the bottom of the garden. Oh my God, the damage it did through to next door's
that's the danger.
sheds and all of that. It was coming up through their floors. You could not kill the stuff off. And a friend of mine was an agronomist, dealt with the economic stuff of the agricultural industry, and he said the only thing that would get rid of it was literally proper industrial stuff, which is you're not really allowed to use. But then, yeah, the knotweed is I don't know how it comes to get it, but it can ruin the foundations of the house. It's terrible stuff. You
Yeah,
can't get rid
well,
of it.
you can literally get up the following day and see the growth of bamboo.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
it's
I wasn't
awful. I know.
outside
I've
when I
seen
went
it.
to bed.
Dreadful. And it does. It grows at a cracking pace. I mean, you can almost sit there and watch it growing.
Well, it'll cost you between 7 and 100,000 pounds to get rid of it. It not only grows in the cavity of your wall, it
Hmm.
grows under your lounge and will come through tiles, believe it or
Mm.
not.
Yeah, this is not weed.
No, I'm
The
talking about
bamboo as well.
bamboo.
Yeah, no, the bamboo as well. It's awful, awful stuff. Both
Yeah,
of them
and
are dreadful.
you can spend a fortune. If
Mm.
your neighbour thinks he's being fashionable because the Royal Horticultural Society have suggested bamboo, tell him to move because it will grow in your garden.
Oh, it's awful. And it's not even particularly attractive. I don't know why anybody wants to grow
No,
it.
no. Well, there's only one real way to get rid of it safely, And I've seen a picture of a guy that had just spent £7,000, and it was about 2 or 3 square meters of a front garden. It was tiny, and it's cost him that. And well, they
Good
have to
grief.
dig down approaching a meter, so they have to
Yes,
dig in a
yes,
big
yeah, yeah.
mechanical grabber. Then they have to line it with some pitch dark, horrible stuff. And then you have to have new soil. I mean, it really is very difficult to get rid of. So
It is
beware.
extremely. It's extremely. I mean, the landlord where we were living was, in the end, he sold it, and I thought, oh my golly, these people are gonna. They don't realise what's growing at the bottom of this 150-foot garden.
Yes. Oh,
I mean, and it used to drive me mad. I was always trying to, and you're right, you have to dig down so deep, and you can't, and all the roots and everything all knot in together. It's not just a case of pulling it up. It spreads, doesn't it? Like the roots all knot in together, and it's awful stuff. But the
that,
knotweed is, yeah,
that's
I've not
nearly as
seen
bad.
it. I don't know what it looks like. I wouldn't know how to recognize it, but
It's
I know.
green.
It's is it like low level stuff? Is it
Yeah,
like
yeah. Oh, yeah, it's not like bamboo.
more like a moss or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Sort of very
Well,
low, yeah.
in between. Um, we're moving on to something very cheery now. And that is 1.6 million items that have been removed from the legal registry, which journalists are allowed to go into to look back on court cases.
Hmm.
Who would do a thing like that? Well, quite a lot of people, including Mr. Lammy this week, because he doesn't want anybody to find out what's happened with Sir Keir. Who's he
Oh,
been talking to? When has he been talking to? When did he have the lowdown on, for example, the peerage of Mr. Doyle? And go back to Peter, the lovely Mandy.
hmm.
When did he actually know? And that is the evidence that they are destroying as we speak, that will finally put him down.
I don't know how they can get away with it. Who is ever going to stop this man? He is so corrupt. I mean, it just tells you the story by what they're doing and why they're doing it. I mean, you've got to look at, it was quite funny actually. There was something on X the other day that said renaming of the Labour Party is now called the Nonce Party. And you've got to look at it. I mean, I've ever told you I had a Schedule D notice years ago.
Yes,
Yeah, and on those names, all no household names, it was signed by MI5, signed by Tony Blair. And if I ever mentioned these particular names, because I was attacking at that time the government and the Westminster and the judges, and who was this random woman that suddenly come out of nowhere, causing like rising up society because she's saying things that other people wanted to see. And when there was these names on it, I mean, are since known names of paedophilia. But I wish at the time my lawyer was very worried about it and said, you've got to get rid of it. And I said, what do you mean you've got to get rid of it? He said, oh no, that is a real warning shot across the bows. Get rid of it. I wish I had printed it off and given it to a friend to look after. Because when I tried calling the correct department, I can't remember what it was now, about 7 years ago, they denied I ever had one.
is
And
they?
that's well, and then weirdly, I got a call back from the same lady who'd obviously gone somewhere quiet and said, just to let you know, they always say that.
Yeah, we live in the home of democracy, folks, in the United Kingdom. And if you believe that, you're very
Yeah, it's
naive.
becoming a fascist society. It really is. It's absolutely dreadful. It's utterly dreadful. I mean, how you can do that? I just don't understand how can't the courts stop that happening?
Well, we know how the courts stop that happening. They're all part of the blob.
Well,
They're
yeah,
all the
yeah,
progressive, the leftist.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
part of it.
Mm, mm. But
And
I
it's
mean,
horrible. Can I
it's
say at this stage, I had an interview with my pal Gavin Ashenden, who you've probably seen on GB News and BBC and various other programmes. You might not see him on GB News again after his last effort because he was talking about the truth. So I listened to this and I thought, I must have a chat with Gavin. We've done lots of programs over the years together and see what he really feels, what is happening to GB. We have just put that up, folks, on our platform. It's there. Go into airtv.international. So that's not airtv.com, although shortly we may change it, but it's .international. That's the suffix. So it's airtv.international. Type in Gavin Ashenden in the search box and see the program. It's a half-hour program that tells you really what is happening in GB. And if it doesn't scare the pants off you, there's something wrong with you.
100%. I mean, I am going to watch it again today. I saw it yesterday, and the way he so succinctly expresses it and so calmly in a very understandable way, even though he is, I mean, he's a cleric. He, as you say, he went from Protestant to Catholic, but a really approachable, lovely man, but with no way does he think that Muslims, Islam should be in this country. And I mean, he's a very brave man, I think, given how we don't have any free speech over here now. As I was saying to you when I met you, when I was over there in Spain, some poor elderly person had been arrested for hate speech because she or he had asked someone if they spoke English. And the
Yeah.
police arrested them. I mean, he's just absolutely bonkers. And you know, I've got with the show I do with Unprecedented TV, I've got Lucy Connolly coming on, and she was, of course, one that was put in prison because
Yeah.
she put something out on Twitter and then deleted it, apologized, and you know, it's just outrageous what's going on here. That is it's a must watch. It's a must watch. I've put it out on X and I've put, watch this. You must watch it. And I mean, he's so strong on, you know, the public here. If we don't put up a fight, we are going to lose the England we knew. And if you're not prepared for fight for something, then maybe you deserve to lose it. And
Yeah.
he's right.
Maybe that we've already lost it
Well, I think
because
so.
if you look at the figures, you look, as Gavin says, I'm not stealing his forthrightness on this, but as a bit of a taster, there is modus operandi in this, as is, well, there are two things against which we are fighting, literally. One is Islam, and the other is communism. And the question is,
Yeah.
have they already won? Islam is very, very cleverly put together. They get into structures rather like bamboo. And
Well, absolutely, actually. I think that's a great analogy.
yeah, we've got to get the mayoral position in this city. Note Sadiq Khan, who's destroyed London.
Absolutely.
That's what they're into. They want a caliphate. They want a Muslim state.
They do.
We are at war. It's a very clever war, but
Oh,
we
yeah.
are at war. And if you combine that with the communism, call it cultural Marxism,
It
that is
is.
being preached to our kids from day one,
It's dreadful.
and they come out of university being completely converted and utterly useless, then those two events, even though they're from different camps, they're combining their efforts to destroy the United Kingdom. If you think that's strong, Gavin is much more erudite and
Uh,
he will explain in detail. Watch
and
it and be very, very scared.
he is he does. I mean, I mean, I think what was frightening though was the fact that you know, you could have civil war here, but will we? Will anybody? Because we've got so much wokeism over here now. Would anybody bother to fight for it? And they're not thinking that, you know, if you don't fight for it, if you don't rise up, and of course the trouble is if you do rise up, you're put inside because you're not allowed to say anything. And it is terrifying, and it is a message to people to say you got to get together if you want to save England and get it back. I have a horror that is. I am not sorry I'm the age I am. I'm worried for my grandchildren. I do seriously worry for them because they're still very young. They're little people. What's it going to be like for them? Truly, I really worry, and I urge people to. I don't know whether it's too late. I feel like there is like it's almost been like a drip, drip, drip going into a 2 pint jug. And now, for a long time, it's been drip, drip, dripping, and now it's overflowing. And that's how it feels to me. But as he also mentions about how the left have been creeping in for ages and it's been ignored. And he also said, which is what you and I have been saying, who is behind all this that's allowed this to happen? And you got to watch it. It's a must watch right up there at the top. I've put it out on X. I've sent it to GB News as well. And the
There
more
we
people
go.
that can read it and send it out and forward it on, it's, I think, one of the best, most erudite interviews I've ever heard. It's brilliant. Frightening,
Well,
but brilliant. It's
yeah,
reality. It is the reality of a situation that everyone's going, this is just absolutely dreadful. Well, you need to listen to the reality of it and then act.
indeed, act you must do. We're going back a little bit to West Streeting and Co. and all the Hunter, all the people that are behind what's happening in the United Kingdom, even echoed today by the various people that look after us when we're voting. They're up in arms about this 4.5 million people that are not allowed to vote. And they've said there's no excuse by saying we haven't got time to reorganize ourselves.
Crazy.
You
Crazy.
should be able to vote, and 4.6 million of you will not be able to vote because they don't want a total drubbing in May. This
Exactly.
government is truly awful.
It
And
is
I feel
dreadful.
sorry, and I never thought I'd say this, for Boris. Boris fell. The Tories got rid of Boris because of a piece of cake. If you analyse it, he
Yeah,
made one serious mistake. Not one of the 70 U-turns that this lot,
I know.
Labour government,
I
have
know.
made, nowhere near the gravity. And
Mm,
he's still in power and he
mm.
won't go.
I mean, I just, it's awful. I mean, he is just so in love with control, and I just don't think he will go or wants to go. He's sat in the wings all this time. And I remember when I was on that meeting with him at the round table when Brexit was on the cards, and when he just left us high and dry, never even communicated to say we were doing a human rights bill, not human rights, we were doing a victims' rights for the way victims of sexual offences are treated in courts by barristers. And that was a very good thing to do. But he just left us after 3 meetings, hanging off the shirt tails of Corbyn, and he just evaporated. And from that moment on, I thought, I don't trust you. You are a flip flop. I don't trust you. And when it all came out at the thing, we want change, we want change. And I was saying to my kids, oh, you'll get change, all right, but it won't be the change you think. I'm telling you. But even then, even with me saying that, it's so much worse than I could have imagined. So much worse in such a short space of time. And we've got another, what, 4 years of this? 3.5 years of it?
I don't think even with the magician that he is, it can possibly last that long with him. But
Do,
who is going
so
to
who
step
else?
in?
Who else? I mean, then, of course, the unions want Angela Rayner, don't they?
Oh, can
That's
you
why she was.
imagine?
That's why she was always by his side. And she was always there because that was a union thing.
Yeah, well, as we speak, of course, he's over in Germany,
Yeah,
uh,
he's never here, is
cozying up,
he?
cozying up to the EU. He wants
Yeah.
to drag us back in there. No, sorry, we voted out, and that means out. He is sucking up to everybody, and he's actually getting a platform to have a go at the Greens, to have a go at Nigel and Reform. That is gross hypocrisy. He's not over there to win an election. He's over there to put a case about spending money on our arms, which he's done nothing about.
Mm.
And when Trump says, I'm not helping you any longer, which is basically what he says, if you can't put 5% of your GDP, you don't deserve any
Absolutely
help with
right.
your arms. We're not looking after you.
Absolutely
Get
right.
on with it. Wake up before you get taken over by Russia and
Absolutely
China.
right. Absolutely right. Because going back to Gavin, I mean, he mentions because you asked him, "Have you thought about Trump?" Didn't you? And that was very, very revealing, and I think spot on. He was extremely. It is such a good interview. Such a good interview. And the friends I sent it to last night have already emailed me and went, "Wow, wow." And I said, "You forward it on to anyone you know."
Yep, I agree. Well, I've got to, haven't I? Right. We're going to go to women's football. Well,
Not
this is a
again.
varied
Not
programme.
again.
It's got what it's deserved. And now I don't watch it because I watch men's football. I've got nothing against it. Go on, girls, have a good time. And if you've got an audience, that's fine. But you've got DEI coming in, diversity, equality, yeah, and the rest of it, and insanity, as I now call it. And basically, the television companies have decided to brainwash us. And what they do is when there's commentary on a woman's match, yeah, you have some women, but you have men in as well. Why? Oh, well, because we've allowed women to come into the men's game and give commentary that way. And I'm sorry, girls, when it first started, it wasn't good. The ladies were saying to the footballers, how did you feel when you scored that goal? And other comments of depth like
I
that.
find it, I still find it weird hearing women comment about a men's football game. I really do. And I think some of the women are absolutely like you say, and others are trying to come across to be quite butch and sort of, it doesn't work. I don't think it works. I really don't.
Well, let's have the best commentary from the best people, whether they're male, female, black, white, or polka dot. And
yeah.
if you stray away from that axiom, you're in trouble. And Ian Wright is in trouble with Eni Aluko. She's our ladies forward and a good player. And she said, well, there should be more women on the women's game, not the men. Why did you commentate on that match, Mr. Wright, when it should have been me? I mean, that's pathetic,
It's
but that's
childish.
where we are.
Absolutely childish. Really is. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Because it's the rugby today, you see, isn't it? Oh,
Yes.
oh, do you know what
Well,
time it's on? I don't know what time it's on.
well, no, I probably won't be watching it.
England. Oh, well, I have to because I have a Scottish daughter-in-law.
Oh, well, there you go. You're into scrummages. I know you. Well, we move on again. Um, oh, we got a problem with blue badge holders, which Hammersmith and Fulham have decided
Oh, yes.
they're going to cope with. And they can do because it's all going digital. And the reason behind it is that car thieves have now, well, thieved the notice you put in your windscreen, your blue
Mm.
disable notice. And they're making a fortune because it means you can park practically anywhere. So to stop the theft and damage to cars, they've said, right, you're all going digital. So we know who's parking there without you displaying the notice which is going to be stolen. Other local authorities will catch up, no doubt. But it is a sign of the times, isn't it?
Ugh.
Again,
I see. I don't see how they because I've got people friends that have got these blue badges, and I don't see how you can do that because you have to display your photograph, and that person doesn't look like. Oh, and I suppose unless they touch up the photo, I suppose
oh, it's all to do with mobile phones, etc.
yeah, yeah.
You, how are you going to survive well, how you can survive now without a mobile phone?
Well, that's it, isn't it? Yeah. When I that's it. The moment, it's true. We are as bad now as the teenagers were. We're as bad now as we used to moan about the teenagers about 5 years ago, aren't we? We really are.
I know, but it's a nonsense. You can't park anywhere. Oh no, you can only pay through your mobile phone. Well, I'm
Oh,
sorry. If
Zach,
you
you
are of
honestly.
an age, you're not going to cope with that.
Rodney, that it truly drives me mad. It is, really, how's a little old lady on her own, parks the car, whatever? It's dreadful. And then you have to register with some car park ownership, the company, and you got to. And by the time, no, I was doing some training at the University of Bedfordshire 2 weeks ago. It took me 15 minutes to be able to park my car and pay for the parking. By the
Yes,
time I wasn't a member of that particular company that owned that car park and were managing it, then I had to register, then I had to download it, then I had to do this, then I had to do that, then I had to confirm all the stuff I'd been put in again by this stupid voice call going, and you have got your registration is. I say first letter. Oh my God. And you have to do all that before you can park the thing. And then I was late for the meeting because it took me so long to try and register for the stupid car park.
yes, and people give up, and when they give you a telephone number, you try and get anybody to answer it.
Oh, that's impossible.
Yeah.
Useless. They never
So
answer it.
I'm sorry, we're getting more and more impersonal.
Yep.
Nobody cares, nobody does anything, nobody complains. I'm sorry if you don't complain, if you've not got hold of this program yet, open your mouth and have a good
Hmm.
complaint.
Absolutely,
Because it's
absolutely.
the
I
only
mean,
way to change things.
no, you have to. You have to do it. You have to do it. And if you don't know, it's exhausting. I know it kicks off a lot of issues, but changing the subject totally for a minute. When I got back from Spain, Rodney knows that I've been battling for 4 months with the rape gangs up in North Shields. And this is because a taxi driver saw me on GB News, and him and his mates were deeply concerned about these Kurdish gangs that were, some of these women are actual sex slaves in the apartments. They're not prostitutes. And it's absolutely dreadful. And no one's doing anything, not even the MP. She wasn't interested. The
Yeah.
police haven't, etc., etc. So I have really been pushing and pushing. And I know how to do it. But even so, it's taken me 4 months. But I've been on GB News now 2 or 3 times and I've mentioned this situation. It's amazing the number of people that have heard it. So I come back yesterday from Spain and I've got a letter, an email rather, from four top people in North Shields Council who heard me on GB News and they want a meeting with me on Zoom this week about what is actually going on. I said, it's actually what's not going on the part of the authorities, that even the police have admitted high up, because it's now gone to a completely different department. They are now having to admit that some of their officers are implicated. Well, could have told you that 4 months ago.
Indeed, more than implicated. You're not going to believe what's going to come out in the news. We won't preempt it shortly and how the police are implicated. We dash over the other side of the pond and we go to America because the whole world seems to have had bad weather. It's not just Spain, Portugal, parts of France, parts of Greece. It is over there. They've had their coldest winter in donkey's years.
Mm.
And we've got an associate in Texas, right in the south. And she, bless her, is complaining it's blooming cold. The kids are not going to school because it might snow in Texas. Well, that's how bad it is.
But
And
it's the ice. They've had ice. It's not snow that's then become ice. They have had actual ice. And, she said, she showed me photos of it. It's 2 or 3 inches of ice that's on the roads and everything. And it's thousands of people without power.
yeah, you
And
can't
it's just
stand
hideous.
up.
Absolutely
No,
awful.
no. Well, there you go.
No, no, it's lethal.
And if you get those spiky trees,
Dreadful. But I think it's a weather front, isn't it, that's got stuck or something, isn't that right?
well, it's a combination of two big, massive low pressure areas and other little ones coming along. At last, after nearly 2 months here in Spain, this is the first well, it wasn't bad when you were over here, but it's still not what it should be.
Oh,
And
no, it wasn't too bad. No, it wasn't too bad. To be fair, it didn't rain when we were there, to be fair. But when we were coming back, when you drove us back, I have to tell the listening public where Rodney lives. The Sierra Nevada mountains, aren't they? Around there, are they?
Well, they're one of the Sierras. The Nevada's a bit further
Beautiful,
along.
stunning, stunning, stunning scenery. I should be tourism for Spain, shouldn't I? I mean, and when the sun was on those mountains, we were driving back. You thought, "Oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. It's so beautiful, the scenery, just stunning,
There you
lovely,
go. We
lovely."
get some
But when the sun
contact.
comes out there, of course, boom, up goes the temperature by 10 or 15 degrees. Not like here. You've still got, we've got now, although we've had rain, rain, rain all the time, we've now got after, I tell you, it was so wet yesterday, it was funny that I was, I went out to my neighbour's 5 doors down, right? And I went by car because it was so wet and the puddles, it was dreadful. I said, this is, I went, no, I'm going by car. I'm not.
Well, there you go. Listen, back to Texas and America in general. They have survived. We wouldn't have done in the United Kingdom because they've opened their gas and coal-fired generating stations.
Ah,
And Trump says, drill, drill, drill. He's right. And let's open our state. And they've survived only because of that. They'd have been
mm,
in the doo-doo. I mean, it's been really exceptional. Do we learn from that? Will we learn from that? Well, there was a report out brought from the Democrats saying that there are 7 poisonous gases. One is CO2, of course, the favorite one that we've got to get rid of. That scientifically is an absolute nonsense. And Trump has said, I am competing against India and China. They're not cutting down on the CO2. They're making things cheaper and better, and people are living longer because they're warm and
yeah.
society is growing.
Mm,
Never mind 3,000 years hence, we're living here and now. And it's all a plan. It's
mm.
all part of the nutty green movement, call
Yeah.
it what you like, and it's destroying the West.
Mm,
They know how to win a war without firing a shot. That's what's
absolutely.
happening in many parts of Europe with this Muslim. Now, we're not saying all Muslims are bad, no, but there are a significant quantity, and they've reached the tipping point that want a caliphate. And back to Gavin Ashenden, when I asked him, one thing we can say is, Gavin, 30% of Muslims want a caliphate in United Kingdom from the last census. And what do you do with these people? Isn't this treason?
Mm,
And he says, of course it is.
mm,
They want deporting immediately.
mm.
Now, which of our politicians
None of
would
them.
dare say a thing like
None
that?
of them.
But
What?
we know, the guy in the street knows that's the truth.
But the guy in the street doesn't do anything. They go down the pub and moan about it. They sit in the coffee shops and moan about it. But what are you going to do about it? That's the problem. Are too many people that are not. When I was talking to our Texas friend about, we were talking about Trump and the other day about, how many young men are there across America who could stand for president? And she said nobody wants to. They're just this generation of, like, I don't know what you call it, Gen Z or whatever generation it is. They're just like not interested. I mean, I think it's awful that people don't have that solidarity and that sort of feeling to protect their nation. I really don't. And then, also, can you imagine this happening in America? I can't. That Birmingham is a real problem with Muslims and all that. And our UK flags were pulled down and Palestinian flags were allowed to be flown. That's appalling. Absolutely appalling. And then we had, I don't know if you saw the news, you're always on the news like I am, how the Palestinian marches that are supposed to be illegal, the Met Police were doing nothing about it.
Well, no, exactly that. I mean, basically, a proscribed group, the Palestinians, Hamas, etc., have been semi-legalized by our weird judiciary, waiting another appeal, another sentence. You know, you look at a situation we've mentioned many times with the NHS. we are clearly by our Supreme Court, hooray, thank goodness we've got that, told that there's a difference between man and woman. Listen, Sir Keir, because you still don't get it. And yet still the NHS are
I
treating,
know. I mean that's it's illegal. The
of course it
Supreme
is.
Court has said. How can you? And why aren't why aren't the Supreme Court doing something about it? To say this was legislation. You cannot do this. Why are they silent? And I
Well,
mean, and
the
I just
blob
think
is
it's dreadful.
extremely powerful.
I mean, Bloomin' Lammy, liability Lammy, he does a stupid clown. I mean, I don't understand how those documents we referred to earlier can be allowed to be destroyed, and that the journalists are not allowed to see court documents. It is appalling. That hasn't been discussed in Parliament. I mean, and who can stop this? The courts themselves should stop it. I mean, the Supreme Court should step in and say these are legal documents from court cases. They cannot be destroyed. I mean, I just don't understand how these things are allowed to happen. Who is
We're a
silencing
very,
people?
very clever nation. We don't stick umbrellas in the shins of our people that have got to the truth like the Russians do.
Mm.
They disposed of them that way. China disposed of them
Yeah.
another way. We are very sophisticated and we do it every bit as alarming
Yeah.
as they do. We may let a number of people live a bit longer, but they're completely squashed. By the way, going back to the interview with dear Gavin, you must watch it. We're promoting lists
Oh,
like
we're
that.
pushing it like mad.
It's so important. Listen to what he says about Tommy Robinson. That's
Oh,
all I'm going to say.
I know. I know. Wow. I thought, wow. And it's such a great interview. I applaud you on it, Rodney, because it really is so good. And is that on when you say about putting in his name, if people forgot the name, is it on your opinion channel, on your program,
Yeah,
on your
we have 12
platform?
television channels on our platform. Go
Yeah.
to the
So
opinion channel, type in
it's the
Gavin's
opinion one,
name.
isn't it? It's
Yeah,
on.
and you'll see
Yeah,
it.
that's right. Because people might not remember his name, and then they go, "What was it? What was that name?" But if it's opinion, think of opinion, and
Oh,
it will
yeah, it's
it'll
there.
be
You'll see a
up there.
thumbnail of various people that we speak to.
It's unbelievable. Just
Okay, Cabinet Secretary Chris
oh,
Wormold steps down with 250 grand. It's almost as good as a Football League management of your trainer stroke manager. And here he is being the Sir Humphrey of previous television fame, of the civil servant. And he's gone. He's resigned. He's had to resign because he didn't give, well, he couldn't get on with Sir Keir.
yeah. Oh, there's the thing.
For all our criticism of the civil service, he may be a good one after all, you see. He knows what he's against.
But it's the reason that he was given the £260,000 was to pay him for his silence.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
The man is so utterly corrupt. I really, I mean, I, he will go down in history as the most loathed, I don't know what he thinks. I couldn't work. I thought people were so against me, like people are. Well, of course, other than the Muslims. I mean, I couldn't get up every morning. I mean, he must be completely impervious to public opinion and what people think of him. Doesn't care.
Rhinoceros skinned springs to mind. Talking about that and moving on again. Um, remember the budget and how secretive it's been for years and years. And yet, 1 hour before the budget, everything, I mean, everything was out there
Hmm.
online.
Hmm.
Now, it's one thing after another. You can't let things like that go, but there's that many rotten things going on at the moment. You tend to slip over the
Yeah,
occasional.
but that wasn't a mistake. You don't say, oh dear, I pressed the wrong
Yeah,
button.
oh, of course it's not.
People, do you know what I find so annoying is that they they truly believe that we are that stupid and we got more intellect than they've got in their big toe.
And they said immediately, oh dear, that was a mistake. And 10, 20 people knew about it. Well, they've done an in depth, uh, deep dive into this one. And it was more than 25,000 different journalists, people, call them what you like. 25,000 people downloaded that.
Gosh.
Yeah, end of story. I tell you what, we're going to move on to another friend of yours,
Oh gosh.
Bridget Phillipson.
Oh, don't get
Oh,
me
yes.
started. Oh no. I thought that might come up today. Oh
Yes. Well, I
God.
mean, she's answered all this sex change with our young kids right down to age 4. Uh,
Dreadful. Dread.
Dreadful.
She's
Children,
dreadful.
you're very lucky because if you feel like today, Tuesday, you're a cat and Friday, you're a dog, that's all right. Tuesday, you're a boy. Thursday, Friday, well, you could be anything. But there are restrictions. There weren't before. You have to get mum and dad involved so they will know how confused you are. Before the teacher used to stand there, do you feel like a girl? Right, I'm not telling your parents. Come dressed in a skirt tomorrow, young man, and you'll be all right. That's been corrected. You've got to go to the parents. But it should even start. This is a
The
nonsense.
trouble is, Rodney, there are so many, and it's often middle. You know, I hate saying the class word, but you know, it is. It does still exist, though. You have the uber rich, and then you have Middle England, don't you? You can't. It is there, but it does tend to be that sort of strata that I mean, I've been in schools where you know this is going on, and the parent might say, "Oh yes, my son is transitioning, or my daughter," and they do it like it's some badge of honor. And I
Exactly.
just turn around and say, are you mad? Or they're mad? And this is child abuse, by the way. You know, this will destroy your child's mind and then it's a mental illness to keep wanting to do this. Maybe it's attention seeking, I don't know, but it's Bridget Phillipson is well, I know as a teacher, and I'm sure you remember from your teaching days, I don't think there's any teacher that's ever liked the education minister. But this woman is just talking, she's batty, she really is. And you know that one teacher, what's her name? I don't know her name. She's quite weird, got all that very, very, very curly hair, and she's supposed to be the strictest teacher, head teacher in
Oh,
England.
yes, yes,
I mean,
she's good. She's good.
she talks some common sense,
Yes.
absolute common sense. I mean the thing is as well. I mean, more and more people, and I think if I was now, I think I probably would take my children out of school and home tutor them. But then you see, the trouble is with that, they still don't have, and they should have, and that wouldn't have been difficult to do. They should have a register of who is home tutoring and the standard of that tutoring and the welfare of those kids, like anything else. And I don't see why they haven't done that. But a lot of, I mean, I just would not want my children in the education sector at the moment. I just think it's dreadful. It's absolutely awful. And I mean, what is wrong with these women? Well, don't they understand? The only person I so love J.K. Rowling. I mean, she really, I really like her.
It takes courage to put your head above the parapet, doesn't it?
Absolutely right. And she's taken a lot of flack for what she says, but I'm a big fan of hers. She's not frightened of saying it, really isn't. And she challenges it. And yeah, she does get knocked back by stupid woke people that think this is all right. It's not all right.
No,
It's destructive and it's abuse. And then still the NHS carries on with their, how can you use children as experiments? This is going back to the Nazis or something. 200 kids experimenting with puberty blockers. What parent allows that? What is wrong with these people?
it's fashionable, darling. I can share all this with my friends over a five
Oh,
pound
I
cup of
honestly
coffee.
do. Truly, it is. I do not believe. I am happy to believe there are a few children, maybe like a few, and I mean very few, but not when you're going into a school and then is in one or two in every class. I mean, I have been in schools where it's like working in a farmyard because one kid decides it's a cow today, so and that child will moo at the teacher. You get a child that thinks it's a cat, and that cat will hiss and spit and scratch, all that stuff. If somebody else thinks they're a horse, it's just ridiculous. I mean, honestly, if I was a teacher, I'd say you can do that when you go home. Right now, you're learning maths. But I would never last in teaching today. I'd be kicked out straight away.
Yeah, surprised you lasted before.
I just
Yeah.
cannot stand it. It's just awful. Absolutely awful.
Well, I'm going to stop you in your tracks there and mention another favourite of yours, Mr. Burnham, Mayor of
Oh, I don't like
Manchester.
him either. Can't stand him.
Well, you'll even like him less now. Apparently, he's come out and said the first thing, if he gets into power, that he's going to bring in is that he is going to take your property and compulsory purchase it. If you're a landlord where you don't meet the local government standards, and he'll put no doubt more illegal immigrants in there and other
Uh,
people.
You've just
And
answered.
this is again another form of communism.
It is. It is.
You know, you can't obey all these stupid laws to the T that they come out with. It's an open goal here. He's going to acquire loads of properties. Landlords are to be hated. Some of them are actually, but
I have
generally,
I,
no.
I have the most amazing landlord. He's fantastic.
Yeah,
We're very lucky. But then he says you're the best tenant I've ever had. So, but he is really good. The slightest little thing that goes wrong, and he's so good. We are very fortunate.
there are
But
lots out
I
there that are
don't
the
see.
same.
I mean, not being funny, Rodney, but say he does this, what is that actually going to do to the homeless numbers? Where are these
Uh,
people going to go when the landlords have been forced to sell?
It's going to make the Labour-run councils richer by a country mile. That's all they're in it for. They're in it for control. Nothing more, nothing
100%.
less.
I've never liked him. I have never liked him. And to be honest, I'm quite an outsider with that actually, but maybe people are beginning to see him for what he really is. He knew about the rape gangs. He had to know about what was going on in Rochdale. Do not believe for a minute that he didn't know. And nope, I don't like him. There's on a lot of things I don't like him. No, doesn't get my vote at all. But when he came up with that yesterday, I thought, well, there we go. Here's the start of it. But I mean, can you imagine the number of people that are having to rent because they can't afford a mortgage? Now they're all going to be out on the streets.
Yes. And yeah, railway arches are the answer there, no doubt. Listen, we've got to go. Time has gone, but can I mention a new, not a really new, but it's certainly taken time coming over the pond from Harvard Uni, and it's about sugar. Now, sugar, if it's manufactured, and it's manufactured out of its brains, believe you me, is very dangerous. Number one, cancer feeds on sugar. The last thing you need if you're recovering from cancer is a sugar diet. It very possibly has even caused that cancer. It's horrible. They've now discovered that Alzheimer's also can be kicked off by eating refined sugar, like your bag of sugar, like everything you eat that is ultra processed from the shelves of your
Mm,
supermarket. Look how sugar is presented. We're being stuffed with it.
mm,
Now, diabetics will understand this. You've got a glucose index, GI. And if it's over 50, you've got to watch it. If it's 100, you've got to doubly watch it. But they now find out when you're talking about glucose loading, which they're now going into, this is a factor that's got to be taken into account with GI. Now, to explain, it's all to do with carbohydrates. Example, fruit. is really good for you, but a lot of doctors still say, oh, it's full of sugar. Be careful how much fruit you eat, especially if you're diabetic. Hang on, that's not the whole story. Because if you are eating, an example, a watermelon, wow, that is so full of sugar you won't believe.
Is it really?
It absolutely is. And that it's got a GI of 80. So that's well on the way
Wow.
to being, but it's got a GL loading factor of only 6. So you've got to take one with the other. And it really brings the factor down. And it's not simple. Oranges. Now, I'm not talking about drink, which are bad for you. I'm talking about whole oranges with the pith and everything else you get in there. Oh, shall I eat more than one? Oh, no, I'm going to get my loading too high or my GI too high. No, you're not.
Also for diabetics, though, if you're going into a sort of what do you call it, and they have a hypo or something like that,
Yeah.
my son always has jelly babies or something like that in his
Oh, yeah.
pocket.
Well, that's solid sugar or a Mars bar. Yeah.
Oh, Mars, but he always has those in his pocket when he plays golf and stuff. But he always has orange juice by the bed because it's supposed to be really good. It's an instant fix thing. He's always got orange juice in the fridge.
Orange juice, yes, it's an instant fix because it's
It's
not
an instant
actually good
fix.
for you,
Oh no,
because you've
it
just got the
isn't. No,
juice
oh
and
no, it
not
isn't.
the aforementioned pith.
And
Uh,
can I just say, your oranges that you had when we had oranges at your place are delicious.
yeah, well, you should have been here when we pinched them off our own tree. Uh,
Oh,
oh, there's
and
something
they
else.
were gorgeous, those oranges. They're
And can we
gorgeous.
rub it in? A sack of 5 kilos. That's a big sack. Costs less than £2 here. Oh my, you pay that for one orange, don't you? That's the year. But you don't hold back on the oranges, but eat them individually and whole because it's got the carbohydrate factor built in. And melons you're all right with.
Mm.
I tell you the best fruit to eat, strawberries. Strawberries have got an
Mm.
ultimate factor of the 2 factors built in of only one. You're safe up to 5 or 6. Tell you the thing you've got to watch out for: dried fruit. That is
Oh gosh,
concentrated,
yes.
and
Oh, very
raisins
concentrated
and
sugar. Yeah,
sultanas and even
yeah.
prunes. Yeah, the odd one. Don't get high. Yes, don't get
Mm.
OTT about it. But be careful with dry fruit.
But did you know the fruit? Tell me, see if you know this. The fruit with the most alcohol in it,
Oh, go on.
banana.
Banana, yes. Bananas, by the way, are good on what we've been talking about.
But not too many. But they got because they help your platelets, don't they? They're very
They
good
do.
to,
They're good for potassium, of course. So one
Yeah,
or
that's
two
right.
bananas a day is excellent. So,
But they are, they've got, I mean, you wouldn't believe it, but they have a lot of alcohol in them.
she's the expert. She will know.
That's
And
only because I'd got it on a quiz night.
yeah, you can learn a lot. Listen, we've got to go. We have a chart if anybody wants to get in touch with us by email. What is good? Fruit is good, but you can see the whole truth about fruit. So don't neglect it. Some doctors, regrettably, still do. Oh, don't touch fruit. You can. It's
Mm.
excellent,
And
especially
green,
if
and
you
spinach and broccoli, so good for you.
yeah, if you've
So good.
got osteoporosis, you think acid, that's the last thing I want. But no, it turns, and the best thing fruit you can eat is a lemon because it goes into your stomach and turns immediately alkaline. So it is a complicated thing here. This chart is very useful.
What about kiwi fruit?
Kiwi is good.
I love kiwi. I even eat the skin of kiwi fruit.
Yeah, it's got a factor of 3, I think.
And I like
So
kiwi
that
fruit.
is excellent.
Okay,
There you go.
right.
Anyway,
Off
the list
shopping
we've
now.
got here. We got to go, and it was very pleasant, madam, seeing you this week, especially with your pots of homemade marmalade.
More coming, more
More
coming. Don't
coming, more
worry.
on the way. She knows how to get in here. bribes their way in with.
And
Well, let's hope the airline don't take it off you. They took it
well,
off you, didn't some?
my traveling friend said to me, and the thing is, they're going to throw it away.
Oh,
And they took it out my bag. It's a crime.
yes, yes. What a waste.
Um, so now what was I going to say? I was going to say something else. I can't remember now. I can't remember what it was. Oh, and yeah, one more plug. One more plug for Gavin Ashenden. You've got to watch it. Absolutely have to watch it and then act.
Well done. Yes, actor. We'll go now and we'll see you very shortly.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.